Your Eye on Annapolis daily news brief keeps you informed about what's happening in Annapolis, Anne Arundel County, and Maryland. Local news, local sports, local events, local opinion, and, of course, local weather. Your Eye on Annapolis daily news brief starts now.
Good morning. It's Monday, November 14th, 2022. This is John Frenaye, and this is your Eye on Annapolis daily news brief. Just looked at the calendar and realized that Thanksgiving is next week. I better get on the ball. But for now, we do have some news, so let's get into it, shall we? Navy football. Not much to say about this season that has not already been said, but this team really did not give up against Notre Dame on Saturday. They were down 35-13 at the half and clawed their way back to a 35-32 loss and thwarted the Fighting Irish offense in the second half. Had there been a few more minutes on the clock, I truly believe they could have pulled an upset. We had hoped to have a bunch of photos from the game up by now, but some technical gremlins had other ideas, so you want to check back a little bit later on today at eyeonannapolis.net for some fantastic Glenn Miller photos, as we always have. As for Navy, they're headed to Florida for an 11 a.m. game against number 22 UCF on Saturday. This will be a tough game for them, and then a few weeks to prepare for Army and Philly on December 10th. Army and Navy seem fairly evenly matched on paper, so this year's game, fingers crossed, should be a game. Right now, Navy is at 3-7 for the season. Historic Annapolis announced that they have joined Museums for All. Now, this is a nationwide initiative to encourage lifelong museum visiting and habits. The program provides free access to museums for anybody that presents a WIC, Women and Children's, or SNAP card. It grants free entry to up to 4 people, and here locally, that's going to include the William Paca House and Gardens, as well as the Museum of Historic Annapolis down there on Main Street. More than 850 museums are participating nationwide, and I think that's a great initiative. Here are a couple of must-dos for your December calendar. Both of them actually are at the Classic Theater of Maryland. A Christmas Carol and White Christmas. White Christmas performances begin on November 25th and roll through December 24th, and A Christmas Carol will run December 2nd through the 24th. They do run weekdays and weekends. If you've not seen the only professional theater company in Annapolis, you are shortchanging yourself. You definitely want to do it. Tickets, dates, and more information at classictheatermaryland.org, and that is THEATRE, and Maryland is spelled out. I do hope you caught the local business spotlight with John at Unity Bands. Up this weekend, it's Chef Big Money, and it's all about his great pies that you can get at the Arundel Farmers Market. We did drop a bonus pod on Friday all about the Military Bowl and specifically the Budweiser Who's Your Hero program. You can nominate a hero in your life, and you and your hero could be going to the bowl on December 28th, riding in the parade, enjoying sweet seats and some on-field access. Nominations are open now at militarybowl.org/budheroes, but do give that pod a listen. We were at Heroes Pub on Veterans Day, appropriately enough, recording it, and it was hopping. Tickets are also available, also militarybowl.org. And finally, a quick political update to say that we don't really have an update. There was no counting on Friday, and they did release the numbers from Thursday on Friday. Most incumbents, and mostly Democrats, have regained their leads. However, County Executive Pittman still trails Jessica Hare. But we do have a lot more to count, and I suspect we're going to know a little bit later on this evening where things stand so far. So you want to tune in for that. All right, that is a wrap. Thank you first and foremost. And also a quick thank you to our sponsors for the Daily News Brief. Solar Energy Services, Scout and Molly's, and the Kristi Neidhardt Team of Northrop Realty, a Long End Foster Company. And now, Ann Alsina from CovingtonAlsina is here with your Monday Money Report. And of course, we have George Young from DC MDVA Weather standing by with your locally forecast weather. All that coming up in just a bit.
Hello, energy consumers. This is Rick Peters, president of Solar Energy Services. Have you been looking for ways to save money recently? Maybe you should consider solar energy for your home. Or are you waiting for the technology to get cheaper? If so, how long are you going to wait? Today's solar costs less than 20% of what it cost 10 years ago. But while solar prices have declined every year, so have the financial incentives. Bottom line, if you wait for cheaper solar, you're also waiting for lower incentives. Take my home, for example. My solar system was installed in 2010, and it's been paid off for almost 5 years, and I no longer have to buy any electricity for another 15 to 20 years. If I waited for cheaper solar, I'd still be paying an electric bill. At Solar Energy Services, we have thousands of satisfied customers who are sure glad they didn't wait. So what are you waiting for? Sunshine's a wasted. Call us today for a free solar design at 410-923-6090 or on the web at solarsaves.net.
Sunshine, sunshine, nothing else can make me feel so fine.
When you live near Annapolis, you know how fickle the weather can be. So you need a truly local forecast that's accurate and reliable. Forecast right here in Annapolis. DCMDVA weather is not just for today, but for the rest of the week and the weekend too. Now here's George Young of DCMDVA weather with the weather outlook for today and beyond.
Hey everyone, this is George with DCMDVA Weather, and this is your Eye on Annapolis forecast for Monday, November 14th. It was a great run of warm weather into mid-November, but fall is finally here in full effect, and it'll stay that way until further notice. Look for highs today in the 45 to 52 degree range with sunshine and light winds to be followed by increasing clouds and highs again near 50 degrees tomorrow, with some PM rain that could last into early Wednesday morning before skies clear Wednesday with temps in the 50 to 55 degree range, 4 p.m. highs ahead of an even cooler stretch with sunny highs Thursday through Sunday in the 42 to 49 degree range each day with AM lows in the upper 20s to mid-30s each morning. Okay, that's it for today. This is George Young of DCMDVA Weather. Make it a great day out there today. Stay healthy and be safe. And be sure to follow us on Facebook and Twitter for regular updates each day, along with our website at dcmdvaweather.info, and definitely be sure to download our DCMDVA Weather app on all of your devices from either the Apple or Google App Stores, so you can always stay weather informed.
Another moving moment from Kristi Neidhardt of the Kristi Neidhardt Team from Northrop Realty, a Long and Foster company.
One of the most common questions we get, how do I maximize the value of my home before I sell it? It's a great question. We look at improvements like investments. What is the rate of return? For example, if we invest $5,000 in painting kitchen cabinets and installing granite, how much more will our home sell for? The answer? About $25,000 more. That's a 500% return on investment. Because of returns like this, we have started a program called Investing in You. We know cash is often tight when you're making a move, and we are here to help. We will front you up to $15,000 to invest in refreshing your home before you list it, with the agreement to be paid back once your home settles. Call us today so we can help you maximize your home's value.
That's another moving moment from Kristi Neidhardt. To get in touch, call 410-599-1370 or visit kn-team.com. That's kn-team.com.
You work hard for your money. Is your money working hard for you? Managing and investing, it can be confusing. Ann Alsina, a financial planner from CovingtonAlsina, has been helping people make sense of it all for over 17 years. Are you ready? Now here's your Monday Money Report.
This is Ann Alsina of CovingtonAlsina with your Monday Money Report. What a difference a week makes. The market soared with the S&P 500 up over 5%. The S&P is 500 big U.S. companies selected by Standard & Poor's to reflect the U.S. economy. The midterms didn't have as big of an impact, although historically markets have performed best when government is split. The big news was Thursday's inflation report. There are two common measurements for inflation: the Consumer Price Index, or CPI, and the Personal Consumption Expenditures, or PCE. Both reflect the change in prices, and both have core versions that strip out more volatile categories such as fuel and food. The Federal Reserve Bank's preferred measurement for inflation is the PCE, as it reflects consumer behavior as well as price changes. We won't have another PCE report until December, but last week's CPI report was positive. The CPI dropped below 8% for the first time in 8 months, coming in at 7.7%. The monthly increase was 0.4%, compared to an expected 0.6% increase. Further, core CPI was down to 6.3%, again beating expectations. This has led to widespread belief that, while the Fed will continue to raise interest rates, December's will only be 0.5%, and both the size and pace of increases will slow. The Federal Reserve Bank has a target inflation of 2%, so we still have a way to go on inflation, but it appears the worst may be behind us. Other financial news from last week is the freeze on President Biden's student loan relief program. a federal judge has ruled the program unlawful. This ruling will most likely be appealed, so we don't have a final decision on the program. If you've already applied, the government will hold your application until a final ruling has been made. Either way, loan payments are set to resume in January. This is a good time to adjust spending so that you're ready for those payments. Your action item this week is to mulch your leaves. Mulching your grass clippings and leaves provides the equivalent of an application of fertilizer, saving you money and reducing waste going to the landfill. If you're going to fertilize, you can have a soil analysis done to see what you really need before spending your money. The Maryland Department of Agriculture has more information on their website. We have some great educational events coming up, so be sure to follow us on Facebook and check out our website at CovingtonAlsina.com. Investment advice offered through Great Valley Advisory Group, a registered investment advisor. All performance references historical and has no guarantee of future results. All indices are unmanaged and may not be invested into directly. The opinions voiced in this show are for general information only, are not to provide specific advice or recommendations for any individual. To determine which strategies or investments may be appropriate for you, contact the appropriate qualified professional prior to making a decision. And if you don't have a financial advisor, come talk to us. This is Ann Alsina with CovingtonAlsina.
Hi, I'm Betsy Abraham. My mom and I own and operate Scout Molly's, this amazing little boutique at the Annapolis Town Center, and we're here to help. Whether you are shopping for the beautiful ladies on your holiday list or for yourself, we have something stunning for every occasion, from casual to black tie. From the Parade of Lights to New Year's Eve, we have the perfect outfit for every event this year. Scout Molly's, Annapolis Town Center. Thank you for shopping local.
You've been listening to the Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief. Tell your friends and colleagues, this is the podcast where you can keep up on the latest with what's going on in Annapolis and Anne Arundel County. And don't forget about our website, eyeonannapolis.net, where you can find even more information. And make sure you follow us on Facebook at All Annapolis and on Twitter at Eye on Annapolis. This Daily News Brief podcast comes to you every Monday through Friday at 6 a.m.